So if you're listening to this, I'm guessing chances are you are either uh, meticulously planning, happily recovering from, or maybe desperately anticipating a break.
Mm-hmm. And we know our audience, the learner, you really value efficiency.
We do, which is why today we are diving deep into the whole concept of, well, strategic rest.
Yeah, we took a really close look at your source material. It's this powerful guide on navigating the logistics and, I guess, the philosophy of a win-your vacation.
Right.
And it doesn't just frame it as days off. It calls it a special time of the year.
A necessary intentional pause. That's the key.
Yeah.
A break from the daily grind of work, school, all the busy schedules.
Exactly.
So our mission today is to skip the vague advice and really extract the actionable core knowledge. How do we maximize the peace? How do we make strategic choices that minimize all that financial and logistical stress?
And get a true return on investment for a time off.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this. Because right at the start, the guide presents this one central kind of high-stakes decision that really dictates the entire trajectory of your break.
It really does. It essentially forces you to choose between two fundamental approaches. And it says very clearly that both traveling and staying at home to rest are completely fine.
Right, completely fine. But for the learner, this isn't just about preference, is it?
No, not at all. It's a foundational strategic choice. It determines your entire budget, your energy expenditure, and all the pre-planning required.
It truly is that strategic fork in the road. Are you looking for external novelty, a completely different environment to sort of shock your system out of its routine?
Or are you choosing internal quiet, making your own space the dedicated destination for rest?
And if you do choose novelty?
Well, then that strategic choice immediately breaks down into its two primary options: the cold strategy versus the warm strategy.
Okay, so let's start with the Great Escape. The source material draws a very, very clear line in the sand between these two travel philosophies. If you embrace the cold strategy, the intention seems to be this active engagement with the environment.
Correct. We're talking about visiting the mountains, and it really emphasizes physical activity, things like snow walking, ice skating.
Or even just taking a moment to, just absorb that huge snowy view.
Exactly. And the atmosphere is consistently described with words like fresh air, quiet, and peaceful. It's a very structured, active communion with the landscape.
But the warm strategy, that's almost the polar opposite, isn't it? It's pure thermal contrast, which completely changes the goal.
Completely. Here, the focus is just escape. It's the desire to shed the cold weather, relax near the sea, wear light clothes.
To feel entirely refreshed.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is the kind of psychological contract you're making with yourself.
How so?
Well, the cold strategy asks for active participation, for physical effort to find that peace.
Yeah.
The warm strategy, on the other hand, it asks for radical surrender. The effort is only in getting there. Once you've arrived, the rest is passive.
That makes perfect sense. Active peace versus passive refreshment. I like that. But as the guide makes really clear, this decision carries some enormous logistical and, mental weight. Specifically when we talk about preparation.
You mean packing?
I mean packing.
Yes. This is where the practicalities become a real strategic concern. The source material links physical prep directly to comfort and ultimately to the success of the vacation.
And the difference in the packing list is it's a microcosm of the whole trip's complexity.
Oh, I think we need to dig into that a little deeper.
Yeah.
It's not just about space in a suitcase, right?
Yeah.
It's the mental bandwidth that's consumed by all that pre-planning.
Right. So if you choose cold places, you absolutely have to manage layers. We're talking jackets, sweaters, gloves, scarves. They are non-negotiable items.
Mandatory. You need them to keep the body warm. You are, in essence, fighting nature.
And fighting nature requires cognitive effort.
It does. You have to anticipate conditions, make sure things are waterproof, coordinate thermal layers. That complexity creates a certain baseline level of planning stress.
For sure. But if you choose the warm place strategy, the planning is, it's radically simplified.
So much simpler. You need light, comfortable clothes, sunscreen, maybe one light cover-up. The physical preparation load is minimal.
Precisely. So for the learner who wants efficiency, choosing that warm destination just reduces the amount of intellectual energy you have to spend before you even leave the house.
Yes. Successful preparation for the cold requires precision. Successful preparation for the warm requires simplicity.
And that simplified mental load, that has to contribute to how relaxed you feel once you actually get there.
Oh, significantly.
Okay, so we've established this huge logistical gap between cold and warm travel. But whether you're packing layers or board shorts, the real metric for success often boils down to something far simpler than climate.
Strategic comfort.
Strategic comfort. Let's shift gears and look at that qualitative measure of comfort, what we're calling the coziness index.
I like that. And the guide makes food and drink just an essential component of this. It identifies those universal comfort items.
Hot drinks, right?
Yeah.
Tea, coffee, hot chocolate.
Yep. And warm meals. It says they make winter days more comfortable and cozy.
And this isn't just, common sense. It's an immediate, really accessible way to trigger that vacation feeling.
Psychologically, yeah. Warm food and drink signal safety, internal warmth, all during a season that's defined by external cold. It's like a primal shortcut to relaxation.
It really is.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Because the source then pivots away from travel completely. It reminds us that vacation isn't only about external novelty.
It's about strategic rest, especially for those who choose the staycation route.
Exactly.
I wonder, though, does the source address the risk here? If I choose a staycation, how do I stop my work from home or school from home environment from bleeding into my rest at home strategy?
That's a huge point.
It's just harder to turn off that mental switch when you're physically in the same space.
It is, and the source addresses it by focusing on the active choice of low-key indoor activities. It lists watching movies, reading books, spending quality time with family.
So it's not passive, it's an active choice.
Very active. It says resting is a very important part of a good vacation. It implies you have to actively choose these resting activities to push out the usual chores or work habits.
So if the weather's too cold, the key is this structured pivot to, domestic pleasure.
I think that's a great way to put it. Playing board games, cooking meals together, listening to music.
Or just sitting near a heater with a warm drink.
Yes. The insight here is vital. The guide explicitly calls these the quiet moments, and it states they're the mechanism that helps people relax and feel peaceful.
So true rest isn't really contingent on the scenery.
Not at all. It's dependent on actively seeking out and preserving these moments of quiet indoor engagement. You are creating a sanctuary regardless of your postal code.
That reframes the entire purpose of the break. The deep dive here shows that the goal is the quiet moment. Travel is just one, and often a very complex path to get there.
And staying home is simply a more direct path to the same psychological endpoint.
Okay, so if we accept that the goal is relaxation and peace, we have to talk about the biggest source of stress for most people. Money. Winter vacations can be notoriously expensive, and the source really emphasizes that budgeting, planning how much money you will spend, is absolutely important.
This isn't just about, saving $20 on a souvenir. This is about maintaining your financial health so the vacation doesn't become a source of anxiety come January. And the guide drops a great strategy bomb here for anyone looking for peak efficiency and savings. It notes that traveling during busy holidays costs significantly more. So the simple hack is you save money by choosing to travel after the holidays.
Now that is a clear, actionable time management tip with a massive financial payoff.
Huge.
Get the same destination, often with fewer crowds, at a much lower price, just by shifting your calendar a week or two. That is the definition of strategic efficiency for the learner.
They also stress that simplifying your accommodation is key.
So not the five-star hotel.
Right. The practical alternatives are renting small homes or staying with family. You're trading, let's say, luxury amenities for coziness and connection.
And then there's the daily savings, which can compound really fast.
The guide mentions that the simple act of cooking food at home instead of eating out helps save money.
But again, for the learner, this isn't just an accounting tip. It goes right back to that coziness index we were talking about.
How do you mean?
Well, when you cook, you're not just saving money. You're activating that indoor quiet moment we just discussed.
Ah, I see.
You shift your mindset from a consumer looking for the next restaurant to a creator focused on a shared, comfortable activity. It just reinforces the whole purpose of the break.
That is a powerful connection. The most financially smart choice is also the one that most supports the pursuit of strategic quiet.
Which brings us to a really complex human habit that threatens all of this careful planning.
The paradox of presence.
The paradox of presence. We've planned, we've budgeted, and the source notes that taking photos is a huge part of the trip.
Of course. Snowy views, warm lights, winter clothes, it all makes for beautiful, documentation-worthy pictures.
But then the guide throws out this critical thinking prompt that I think we all need to internalize. It says, this raises an important question.
What's the question?
The source advises that it's good to enjoy the moment without using your phone too much.
Oof. That's the ultimate test of the vacation's success, isn't it?
It has to be. If the goal is a meaningful experience, then spending all your time framing the perfect shot or curating the memory for social media means you are failing to live the quiet moment you worked so hard to achieve.
Yeah, it's the difference between collecting evidence of a vacation versus actually living it.
The phone just acts as a buffer between you and the actual experience.
And the guide's recommendation is crystal clear. Relaxing and being present makes the vacation more meaningful. You trade documenting the feeling for actually absorbing the feeling.
And that absorption, that internal learning and reflection is what we need to synthesize now. Let's connect all this strategy back to the learner's ultimate goal. The whole point of analyzing this source was to use the vacation experience to practice real-life skills, including how you talk about the break afterwards.
Right. And the guide emphasizes a really powerful communication lesson here. You don't need complex language or, difficult words to convey a meaningful experience.
Simple communication is enough.
It's enough for recall and for reflection.
And that simplification is a skill in and of itself. Just think of those simple sentences the guide recommends for reflecting on your time.
Like,
my winter vacation was relaxing.
yeah.
I spent my winter break with my family. I visited a beautiful place during winter.
Those three examples perfectly capture the three core successful outcomes of a strategic vacation, don't they?
How so?
Well, relaxation, that's the psychological goal. Connection, that's the staycation goal. And novelty, the travel goal. They're crisp, they're clear, they're easy to recall.
It's a fantastic reminder that the success of the vacation isn't about perfect execution or some extravagant trip.
No, it's about achieving rest, reinforcing family connection, and just enjoying small strategic moments.
Which leads us to the final provocative thought for you to carry into your next break planning session.
Okay, let's hear it.
We noted that the source emphasizes the value of quiet moments that help people feel peaceful.
We did. And we also analyzed how the strategically simplest and most economical decisions, staying home, cooking, those low-key activities, are the most direct paths to those moments.
Minimal planning stress,
Yeah.
maximum peace potential.
Exactly. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the data suggests a really powerful conclusion for the efficiency-minded learner.
Go on.
The most economical choice, staying home and embracing those active, quiet moments like cooking, is also the one most directly aligned with achieving that ultimate goal of feeling peaceful and minimizing pre-trip stress.
So the strategically simpler, cheaper plan.
May, in fact, offer the greatest yield on your relaxation investment. This dynamic relationship between cost, complexity, and mental quiet is definitely worth mulling over the next time you look at your calendar.
Sound advice and an excellent return on our deep dive. Thank you for walking us through these layers of winter vacation strategy today. We hope this has given you the knowledge to make your next break your most restful yet.